Do you watch NCIS? Well, if you do, then you're going to want to know about all the secrets that the cast has to share. These are supposed to be things that fans don't know, but some of you die-hard fans may know one or two things on this list. Well, grab a glass of water and sit down, because we're about to begin, and you don't want to miss it. One of the main things that keeps NCIS apart from the other shows that are on TV are the transitions. The transitions are the exact same as they were from the beginning. Instead of making the scenes transition flawlessly, the show kept their foof sound instead. It's actually such a trademark of the show because so many people are able to recognize this sound from anywhere. However, do you want to know how this sound actually came about? Well, creator Don P. Bellisario said he wanted a sound that would show viewers when the scenes change. Also, then people would be able to keep up with the multiple story arcs because they knew the scene was changing. He ended up looking at many sounds, but none of them gave him the feeling he wanted. He wanted something new and fast, but he didn't employ a new sound engineer to make a new sound. No, that would be ridiculous. Instead, he stepped into the recording booth and tried making sounds himself with the microphone. Yes, Bellisario did this all by himself. The foof sound came about after he tapped the microphone with the palm of his hand out of frustration. I mean, that's pretty interesting and lucky, if you ask me. Who would have thought that he was going to save the day by getting frustrated and tapping the mic? Well, that whole situation created the foof that has been around for 19 seasons. Yes, 19. That's a pretty long time for any sound. Did you know that about the foof? Were you surprised that Bellisario saved the day and a lot of money? Why did Bellisario really leave? Not everyone loved Bellisario. If you didn't know, he was credited with the overall creation of NCIS and took on the title of showrunner up until the end of the 4th season. However, Mark Harmon didn't actually get along with Bellisario. I know, shocker, right? Well, Bellisario and Harmon fought a lot behind the scenes. Apparently, it was like cats and dogs. Harmon's biggest problem was that he didn't like the chaotic production that Bellisario would always employ. However, when the 5th season was beginning, there was an ultimatum. It was either Harmon or Bellisario, but both of them couldn't stay. Bellisario ended up leaving the show. They decided that keeping Harmon was more important because he was such an important character to the show. If he was gone, then would NCIS be what it is today? Maybe not. However, if you look really close to the credits, then you can see that Bellisario was not completely stripped away from the show. No, he was kept as executive producer while allowing his ideas to transform and for Harmon to be happy on set. Wow, did you know that? If only that's how it worked in other jobs. Like you and your boss don't get along, so the regional manager steps in and removes the boss so you can continue to do an amazing job? If only, huh? Next, that role for Michael Weatherly. When it comes to drama shows, it's important that actors stick to the script that has been given to them. This is really important when there is an overarching plot in play. It's a good way to make sure people aren't throwing in their own lines that just wouldn't make any sense. However, NCIS decided that Michael Weatherly was a special case when it came to this rule. He was one of the few cast members that were allowed to throw in their own lines. If he was in a scene and the lines just overflowed him and his senses, then he could just say them out loud. However, the showrunners made sure to tell him some very important information about the show and its plot. They did this, so when he had an overcoming of ad-libs, he would not say anything that wouldn't go with the plot. His ad-libs were kept small and fun though, so nothing too crazy ever happened. One of the best examples is when he was caught referring to a woman and he said she was no Jessica Alba. I mean, my eyebrows definitely raised when he said those words. This was also really funny because Weatherly was actually dating Alba when he said the line. When asked why he liked to ad-lib, he explained that this was more of a syndrome than anything else. He referred to himself as an uncontrollable ad-libber. Also, he was very thankful towards production, who gave him the space to ad-lib the way he wanted to. It's so interesting that he's like this. I mean, I don't know what was and wasn't wasn't written in the scripts, but either way, he always delivers a great performance. What do you think about him being an uncontrollable ad-libber? Stay tuned because we're not done with this video just yet. We've got more to tell you. Up next, Mark Harmon was not going to be Agent Gibbs. Okay, before you start freaking out, just hear me out. Production did a phenomenal job with casting the show. Picking Harmon was the best choice because he's fantastic as Special Agent Gibbs. I mean, he's so loved by the cast that the team gave up Belisario instead of losing Harmon when it came to their dispute. However, it's surprising to find out that he wasn't the show's first choice when it came to Special Agent Gibbs. The showrunners actually wanted Harrison Ford instead. However, he was still making an incredible amount of money from the Star Wars franchise, so he decided to give daytime television a miss. And to be honest, we don't blame him. They even asked Don Johnson from Miami Vice, but he also turned down the role. Why did he turn it down? Well, we don't know the answer to that question. After that, Mark Harmon was approached, so he was third in line for the role, but he's definitely the best option for the role. He knows how to be a leader and how to portray what he needs to for this role. Well, we're very happy that Mark Harmon was able to get and keep the role because I couldn't imagine anyone else playing Special Agent Gibbs. Could you? If you could recast anyone on the show, who would it be and why? I'm just curious to know what you're thinking. Up next, that regular cup. Listen, Harmon is beloved and is an incredible piece of the show. However, there is one other person who is more important than him, and that is Abby Sayuto. Abby was brought to life by the amazing Holly Perrette. Everyone who has watched the show knows that Abby likes to stay completely caffeinated while filming, so she's always taking sips from the fictional Calf Pow. Also, this drink is always in a plastic cup that has the name of the drink written on it. Pretty standard, right? No, that cup actually needed to have something inside of it that would allow Abby to continuously drink from it in a happy state of mind. What was the drink? Go on, put your guesses down below. Well, that drink was Hawaiian Punch. However, Perrette decided to go on a diet, and when she did, the punch needed to go. What came in place of the punch? Well, it was unsweetened cranberry juice, obviously, except the producers needed to keep up with this whole change, so the cup needed to be changed. Yes, the cup was changed. So the new plastic Calf Pow cup was revamped and changed for Abby and her cranberry juice. That is why it was then called No Calf Pow, which was supposed to be the decaffeinated version of the energy drink. Wow, they really went to great lengths to do that, don't you think? Was it worth it? I definitely think it shows how much the producers really wanted to keep that drink moving with the character through their own life. Am I just reading too much into it? Maybe. Am I embarrassed? Never. What do you think about the regular cup? Was it a smart move or should they have just left it? Now we have Cota Pablo's sour exit. The last thing we're going to quickly cover is Cota Pablo's sour leave. There was so much for her character to do in the show, so when she left so abruptly, fans were surprised and disappointed. When she was asked about the quick exit, she said that she was sad to leave fans so abruptly, but she felt like the writers weren't giving her character the attention she deserved. I mean, you can't blame her after hearing that, can you? Her character had a lot of potential, but if it wasn't going to come out, then it's hard on the actor. What do you think about Cota Pablo's choice? Was it the right one? Anyways, that's the end of this video. We've told you everything about NCIS. Was there anything on this list that you didn't know? Or did you already know everything about it? Was there anything that we missed? Let us know down below.